Hello, hello, friend. So glad to have you here today. I'm Tiana with the Seven Figure Club, and you can check us out at sevenfigureclubagency.com. And today I'm so excited. I have been doing a lot of training in how to attract and qualify and close high ticket sales. And first and foremost, before we jump into that, let me know where you're coming in from. If you have the ability to comment, I'd love to see what your name is, what business you're in, and where you're tuning in from. And so, as we talk today about high ticket sales, I'm doing this as a private VIP training. And I'm going to pretend like you're sitting right in front of me and answer any questions you have about it. I'm going to lead you through my 5-step process of what you need to have in place and how to actually take people through from being like a cold person to a sold person, but in a very authentic, proven way. I have been selling high ticket for over a decade, and I've really developed a system for that. And by high ticket, to be clear, what I mean is more like $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, even $100,000 and above. Pay in full, wire transfer, sales. So if that sounds like something that you truly are committed to, let me talk straight to you today. So this is for you if you are somebody who is an expert in your field, you are a thought leader, you know you have something of true value that you've already monetized, and you can create a system around that. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. I'm going to share with you the 5 things that everybody needs in order to actually close high ticket sales. I'm actually also going to be creating an application form in Go High Level as part of this, as that's one of the main things you are going to need. Okay. So I'm going to break down the 5 things. I typically do slideshows and presentations, but this is more of a one-to-one kind of training right now. So let's do it. So number 1 is you're going to need Lux branding. And if you want, I would definitely recommend you kind of write this down. You know, it's super fancy right here. This is my fancy schmancy thing, how I keep myself on track. So why do you need Lux branding? We'll talk about that. Number 2, you do need a website. Even if it's a one-page website, you need a place that legitimizes you to anybody who's checking you out. Because let me tell you, they are checking you out, whether you think so or not. And the fact that if you don't have a website, it does show that you don't really take yourself that serious. So let's change that, okay? Number 3 is an offer funnel, and a PDF. So the whole offer suite, we have to have each of those pieces in place. You need an application. When it comes to selling high ticket, we need to see if somebody's qualified. We do not have time for tire kickers or to see if somebody is even qualified. We need an application process or an application funnel to do that. Number 5 is you are going to need to take a sales call, or somebody on your team is. Now, granted, I will tell you, sometimes you can bypass a sales call if you are doing a webinar like this, but typically even webinars and workshops, any sale above 2,000 typically requires a sales call by you or a team member. And the 6th bonus one is you do need to know how to close, send an invoice, collect payment. That's kind of like just obviously, but I'm going to put it on the list. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through, though, right now, all 5 of those steps: the luxury branding, what a website should include to qualify you to high ticket buyers. We're going to talk about offer creation, what should be included in an offer, PDF, and the application. And really, I can't cover a sales call or an invoice on this, but those are a part of the point. So I would definitely write those things down. Those are the minimums needed to actually attract and close high ticket sales. Okay. So now I'm going to share my screen, and we're just going to dive in to the things that we're going to do. So let's go to my website to start with, okay? Just to kind of give you a breakdown of like what things should be included. Actually, I'm going to open up. I've got 2 websites, and I want to share with you the difference so that you can see why we need the things we need, okay? So if you are a entrepreneur and like you're the brand, you're going to have like I'm the brand kind of website. Now, if you are an agency like me and you have a product or a business you're selling, then you would be talking about that business. So I'm going to talk to those who have a personal brand and do it that way. We're going to go to tianasmithcoaching.com, and I want to break down the things, use it as a checklist. I do review people's checklists. Let's see. I don't know why this isn't coming up. Give me a second. Let me find this thing. Let's try again. Okay, let's go here. I'm just going to take that down to here. Not sure why it's pulling up. We're going to just share this one and then I'll share both of these. Okay, so if you can see the screen, this is my agency site, but I also talk about myself as a founder. So why websites are obviously so important is like if I said to you and I met you at a networking event or you saw me on Instagram and you're like, okay, well, can I check out more about you? I mean, that's the first thing everybody asks. In fact, I'm in my offices here and we've got these nice storefronts and a QR code. And just yesterday, a doctor was walking by with her husband on vacation. And even though she'd scanned the QR code, obviously sees I have a storefront, she still says, is there a website or somewhere where I can check out where your other testimonials, things like that are at? I'm telling you guys, people that tell you you don't need a website are lying to you. And I will tell you, it's one of two things. They either don't have experience as a startup, or typically more often than that, it's coaches or course creators who they don't have a good website. They make excuses for their branding. And then they're going to tell you, yeah, you don't need that. Or they don't sell that thing and they're like, they sell something else. But I have been in business for over 20 years in the music business, in marketing, and doing for huge media groups. Every single person that I've ever worked with that ever gets a high ticket client, media deals, brand deals, you have to have a website and you also need to have a list. But we're not talking about the email list today. We're talking about your website and your brand so that you can better close and attract high ticket buyers. So right here, when you go to a website like this, the other first thing you need to have, if you can see here, is some kind of call to action. Now, on my other website, and I will go here, let's go share this tab instead. This is my personal brand website, the Tiana Smith one, okay? So I'm a CEO, but I also have my personal brand. Now, as you can see here, it's still all consistent. It talks about the 7-Figure Club. It's just slightly different. My call to action on this one, the first one, is joining the email list. But right below that is the application process. So we've covered luxury branding. Why does it matter? Because if your brand is not consistent across all platforms, friends, you're not taken serious. And when you're talking about a high ticket buyer, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, they need to see that they can trust your brand. And the first thing they're going to see is that. The second thing, as I said on the list, is the website. Okay. So the website needs to also have all those pieces in place. Sometimes I hear people saying, oh, I'm just checking your LinkedIn. People are only going to check your Instagram. No, that's not the case. On top of that, you don't own that space. That's rented property. So absolutely, your LinkedIn, your TikTok, your Instagram, your YouTube should all be consistent. Luxury branding doesn't always just mean it's Chanel. I work with very masculine brands, like even military brands. It's about consistency. I like to use the example of Jocko. No matter where you see Jocko, if you've not heard of him, check him out, Jocko. Maybe it's not luxury in the sense of it being Chanel or Gucci, but it's luxury in the sense it's consistent everywhere. He makes a lot of money from it. No matter where you see him, we know who he is. So luxury also equals consistency. Okay, so consistently across your whole platforms, your ecosystem. The reason I have number 2 as the website, though, is you have to have at least a website, okay? Because on that website is we're going to talk about number 4, which is the application. But before number 4, we need a number 3, and that's your offer. Okay, so let's talk about your offer. I'm actually going to share my screen and share my offer with you. Let me find this. So as you can see here, when I say offer, which is number 3, you also need a PDF with that, something that you could send to people, walk people through on a sales call, a pitch deck, so to speak. this again needs to cover your branding. You need to actually know what your offer is. So for me and my clients, what we like to do is I first of all will map out the offer like in Google Drive. We might use a little bit of AI to edit things to put it together. But at the end, what we're doing is we are putting together a very high quality magazine style luxury PDF. When I even get pitched from other companies, or if somebody asks me for an investor slide deck too, we're going at this level. As you can see, this is much different than a PDF. Like, once again, when people are like, you just need a Google document, I don't take people serious when they send that to me because I'm an expert. I run a business for 20 years. So again, if you're talking 10, 20, 50K, 100K deals, why wouldn't you invest in building this ecosystem that you can stand your 2 feet on? I like to actually talk about columns in my business, which is why I put this here. These are like the columns that hold up your business. Okay. You're going to get taken so much more seriously. You're going to take yourself more seriously. And it's going to be really a lot easier to close down this deal. Now, I want to take you through the PDF and things that it should include. You do need to have whatever brands, case studies, people that you've worked with. I've got, Ani here, we've done 100K in 8 weeks after launching. Kathy Heller, we did 180K the first time, 2 million the second time. And Carl Allen has done over 30 million at this point from my systems that I have written testimonials, video testimonials from both of them. Okay. You want to talk about your system in here too. What is the system you're going to walk them through? And again, you don't want to give away the farm. That's such a funny saying. You don't want to give away everything, but you need to show people that like when they sign up with you, you know what you're doing. And so even you creating a PDF like this helps you see, oh, what is my system? Where are my gaps? Okay. So then when you come down to this done for you system, and this is like my huge slide where it's like, yes, this is the slide of all slides. Here it is. When you take the time, like I will tell you, creating PDFs for me and clients takes way more time than a website even, because like I'm literally mapping out the system. I'm trying to visually share with something what it is they're getting when they sign up with me. But then this is what's amazing is then when you get down to the price point down here, okay? Obviously, I need to fix some of this sizing issue. When it's in Canva, it looks the same. I'm not sure what's going on. We're just gonna deal with it because hello, I told you this was a down and dirty private training. So we're gonna zoom back in here and come over here and look at it. So when people come down here to this slide that talks about the investment levels, like ranging from 30 to 60,000 and up, they're already like, well, duh, look at how this looks. Of course it's going to, because I don't know how to do that. So whatever thing you're selling, you want this PDF. It's not that you're giving away everything step by step, but you want it to overview for them so that they really can see what they're getting. Okay. So this is the PDF that has helped me so much. It helps keep me on track. It gives an overview. And then I'm going to talk 2 more steps, which is the application and the sales call. But I will tell you, this PDF is like essentially, hey, here are the pieces. But then what this does is it helps me talk to clients to say, hey, like from this, I'm going to create your custom invoice. Okay. So from this, I would tell a client, okay, what I'm hearing from you is I hear that you don't have a website. You don't have an offer. You don't have a list. All right, we need the full system. It's $60,000, a 3-pay of 20K, or you can save 10K and pay 50K, pay in full bank transfer. And that's typically what people want to do. Or if they're like, oh, I can't start there. Can I start with more the $30,000 package? I'm like, absolutely. It's a 2-pay of 15K or 25K pay in full. And most of the time people are going to want to pay in full, which it helps me because I get paid. I don't need to like hold the assets. We can just go all in. We can get the work done. Because you know what? The truth is this, you don't always know if somebody's going to pay you the second payment, the third payment. So that's where I do give a pay in full cash incentive, as well as I offer that if they do a bank transfer rather than credit cards. In fact, none of these do I offer credit card payments on because of risk of chargeback, risk of refunds, and where then I have to take legal action, which is a bummer. So instead, I just mitigate all that risk for myself. And for them, where I mitigate their risk is I offer the access to my 7-figure club until they've gotten their ROI. People love that. So the thing that I would also tell you is when you're building things is offer a guarantee if at all possible, okay? And part of the PDF, what this does is you're giving case studies, you're giving screenshots of people working with you. People can go to my website over here and they can go to testimonials and watch video after video after video. So I don't put all these in my PDF. You want to keep it as simple as possible while still educating people what you're actually doing. Okay. So let's move to the application process. And I thought it would be fun and put application in the comments if you're watching live or even in the replay mode. I'm going to actually build an application that I need to build for a client. She gave me permission to do it on here today. And so I'm so excited and talk to you about, like, even if you were like, I've got my PDF and I've got the application. So you can still sell with those two things, but people are going to ask you the website. They're going to ask about like these testimonials, things like that, right? Like that's a part of life. However, you can still make progress, sell while you're building these pieces. And that's something I'm actually teaching one of my clients right now. So we're going to build the application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open in another screen a application form for one of my clients and get her logo and things going so that we can do that together. Okay. So this is a little bit techy. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's go over here and let's go share a different screen tab. So I'm going to go remove, and then I'm going to add this other one to the screen. And let's see if I can put it, actually, because I'm logged into her account, I don't think I can build it there. I'm going to have to build it in my own account. So let's add this back and let's go here. We're going to go share this tab instead. I was editing this. So where you go and go high level is you go, when you're logged in, you're going to go forms. And if you are using another system, that's fine. But I'm going to use this system right now. Okay. So what you would do is you would go and create a form. And I'm just going to build this one from scratch. So sometimes templates are great, but sometimes they can you just end up editing more. So what we're going to do is you don't need all these boxes. So I'm going to just like, I'm going to use chat actually to say, what forms do I need? I'm going to put it over here. What terms do I need for the form? Can you write it for me? So I definitely love to use AI for using things like that, where it's like submitting this application, things like that. Would be over here. So if I go back this way, I'm going to say cancel. I'm going to go show you the ones that I have built. So if we go here, here's one of our favorite forms that we use with my whole team. So here's some things that you need to do. So you can see that it's pretty simple to edit. You can add an image up here if you want to add an image. You can also, you want to give some kind of, hey, this is who this is for. Okay. Then you want a name, email, phone number. You want to ask specific questions and about the person. Again, I've done this for my clients who are therapists too. So the questions are going to differentiate depending on like what field and what niche you're in. Okay. But you definitely want to get to know them a bit, check them out. If you're B2B like me, business to business like me, you definitely want to see their online links. Now, if it's more of a personal thing like therapy or a doula or a doctor, you want to ask more about those health things or about the relationship. Okay. Now, the thing that everybody should ask, though, and this is where I see people kind of failing, is you want to ask a couple very specific questions. Who is the decision maker? Because if somebody else that needs to be brought in, like a partner, a business partner or a spouse, or that needs to be on there, okay? So that there is accountability. If they say, oh, well, I need to go ask my partner or my spouse or my investor, well, then why didn't you bring all the decision makers on this call? Okay. And then you also want to ask, how soon are they wanting to get started, right? Because ASAP, within 2 weeks, within 30 days. If somebody says just browsing within 30 days, you might say, okay, I'll follow up with you in a month and we'll circle back, but we reserve our one-to-one calls for people looking to get started ASAP. Okay. And then you want to ask how much that they have set aside. Is this a good fit or not? And then you can ask questions about if they want a phone call or text, but I would say keep it under 10 questions. I've learned that if it's over 10 questions, that's a little bit long. Okay. So let's talk about all these steps one more time. And I'm going to put it in the comments. It's Lux Branding, Okay. You need a website because the website is the thing that's going to help people know who you are, take you serious. They can check you out. They can check out your testimonials. You need to have an offer, like what is in your offer. So you need to know what transformation you're giving them. And then the PDF is to visually guide them through that process. Okay. You need an application and ideally you want an application funnel. So if you want, I'll show you the application and the application funnel in a minute. And funnel. Okay. So I'll show you the whole thing in just a minute. You need to have that sales call. And again, that's either you or somebody on your team has to take that sales call. That's just the truth. So if you don't know how to sell, that's another thing like we can talk about if you want to talk about that. And then number 6 is you need to know how to send that invoice, close, and get paid. And sometimes it's more complicated than just an invoice. When you're selling higher ticket, I do recommend bank transfer. So what I do is I actually created, I got a hold of my bank, I went in there, and then I created a 7-figure club bank letter, which has all my banking info and screenshots of that on it, but it's also branded to the 7-figure club because people need very specific information when they're doing a wire transfer, especially if it's international. So these are the pieces like you have to have together if you're truly going to attract and close high ticket. Okay. So I'm going to share with you one other thing before we go today. And that is, if you're watching this on this page, for example, I'd love to have you, you can speak with me and my team by booking this call. Okay. But I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to my 7figureclubapply.com. And this is a full sales qualification funnel. It's called my SQF. Okay. So this is a very in-depth process. Like obviously we could just get the application form, but this converts so much better because you're talking directly to your person, right? So this is the whole funnel piece all together. You're also talking about their pain points. You should have a video here. And then if it's somebody who does keep scrolling, you've got a whole page for this. Okay. You've got the testimonials. Everything's in one place, like what we talked about. This is different than a website. This is specifically a high ticket qualifying funnel. This funnel alone has made me $1 million. Okay. Like this changed my business. Now, the thing is that I offer this template in my training program. Like if you're watching this on the link that I shared, you can purchase this. And even if you don't want to have me design it for you custom, you can get this program in my 7-figure club. So here's what this looks like. When they press apply to get started, now we're going to a landing page that has the form in it. So you can see it's a next level above just having the form inside of it, right? Like it's actually got a whole full system. When somebody clicks through all this, okay, and we'll just go and put it here. We'll go TianaSmithCoaching.com. We need the Tiana. We say, I need this. Yes, I can make a decision ASAP. I've got 25K plus. We're just going to do something like that. We'll say text and we're going to submit the application. On the next page is where if somebody is qualified, it will allow them to book a business clarity call with my team. Okay. So again, I've been in business a long time, so I have a full team and they can go here and they can put your information in and schedule the meeting. Okay. And then on the 4th page, this is really killer, is that it also takes it to a confirmation. It should. And this is where I have a video of me in my merchandise and my gear. It auto plays and it lets you know that this has been received, but here's how to prepare for the call. Okay. Because there are actual certain steps. There are things that we want to talk to. When you go to buy a house, when you go to buy a vehicle, it's not free. You have to go through a process. And it's the same when you work with people who are selling high ticket. So here's your next step if you're truly serious about closing high ticket. I not only have a proven system for the branding, for the websites, for the funnels, but also consulting my clients right away on how to get paid high ticket. This comes from 20 years of experience. I do have my master's degree, but really I've worked with a lot of people in the field, thousands of clients for decades. And It's my jam. And I'm so passionate about it. Just even yesterday, I was helping my client pull out 3 people who were ready to buy from her. And how do we get that done? Last month, one of my clients closed an extra 40K. The month before that, one of my other clients and agencies closed an extra 20K in 5 days after our funnel implemented and my training with their team. This is something that you truly can get a fast ROI. It is not get rich quick scheme. It is only for people who already have something to sell, but maybe you're not packaging it the right way. Maybe you're not offering it at the right price point. So here's what you can do right now. You can click on the button on this page if you're watching this on my application page. If you're not, this is where you can go right now. You can go to 7-Figure Club. You can go to 7-Figure Club Apply right now. And you can see there's the link, and you press apply to get started, and you can fill out this quiz, and then I will personally text you and we can get this party started. And this is how I close high ticket. This is how I see if people are truly interested. I don't do coffee chats. I don't do free meetings. I'm a CEO. I'm a business owner. And if you are serious about operating at that level yourself, let me teach you this proven system. But better than that, I won't teach it to you. If you end up getting on this call and it's a good fit, we will actually do it for you. So all that branding, all these websites, all the funnels, whatever you need, I actually build it for you. And it's not somebody in another place building it for you. No, it is me, Tiana. It is a high-level strategist, a high-level go-to branding expert for companies like Warner Brothers, Sony, Berklee College of Music, ABC, Disney, companies I have worked for had my music, my media, my marketing featured on. I've designed for them as well. So if you want that top level, if you're like the best of the best, but you don't have the system, let's chat. So you can go to 7figureclubapply.com and you can go get on my calendar right now. And I only have 2 spots for June. So we got to book you in. And I will tell you, if you book in today with me and my team, I am offering 2 months of done for you social media marketing, but you have to have that come in today. And that is a $10,000 bonus. So book in today. Let's chat. And otherwise, I hope this helped you. This is the list that everybody needs, whether you have me build it or not. This is the list that you need. Branding, website, offer PDF, an application funnel. You need to know how to close on a call, and you need an invoice and onboarding system that actually gets you paid fast, okay? And that's how deals get done. I'd love to hear from you. I'm Tiana with the 7-Figure Club, and I'll see you soon.